Good morning, everyone. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. I hope you guys have had a great day yesterday. I know the market is there for sure. And a good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am fantastic. I hope you're also doing well.
Doing very good, my friend. Doing very good. Glad to hear that you're doing well. A
And I bet
surprise.
both of us are doing better than poor Norm, who apparently lost air conditioning while Texas had the temperature set up to broil, and
Yeah.
he and the family got no sleep. I can only imagine what it's like trying to sleep when it's like 95 degrees inside the house.
Yeah, that is brutal. It is 75 in here in my office, and I have the AC on blast. With the computers, the lights, and everything, it is just crazy. You wake up in the mornings, 80, 85. It is just not fun.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, let's get to it, our friends. Let's look at the weekly. Actually, let me look at that first before I switch over to looking at other stuff from yesterday and just kind of looking at the SPY and what a great week we've been having there, guys. So if you look at it here, finally broke out of this mess we had from 390 down to about 370 or so. So we've just kind of been stuck in here, a couple of green weeks, but for the most part, this one very significant as we're breaking out there. And that showed in many of the stocks that we had in play yesterday. So let's take a look at those now. Let's go to our 5-minute and show you what kind of action. If you missed it, we'll get you up to speed here on what action we had. So let's go over here, our 5-minute action from yesterday. And there's a SPY, how it traded. Again, a little bit of a downside starting out, but then just ripped and kept going really nice there. So we had AMC on deck, and this one here it wasn't great compared to everything else you had. You did get a beautiful drop, though. This is not bad. A nice drop here. It did try to recover a little bit and then dropped again. So, again, not a good day for them. Tesla had an incredible day. I mean, even at the start of the open, it didn't really care what the SPY was doing or the Qs were doing. This thing just said, no, we're going northeast, and that's exactly what it did here, guys. Just a very nice 765 all the way to 820. I mean, but what a day for Tesla yesterday. And today already they're kind of leading the way here, up 1.7, gapping up this morning. So very good for them. CCL, on the other hand, continues to be choppy. Again, there's just no positive news on CCL. So in fact, there seems to be more negative news with the offering they're doing now. This one bigger dollars than before. I think it's in the billions now. Again, just continues to be negative stuff for them. We had United Airlines, which I expected was going to sell off. Again, another companies, travel companies are struggling with the cost of fuel. It has come down. Oil has come down, but still significantly high, right? So we're under $5 in the national average now. So that's a good thing for everyone there. Here's AMD, a little bit on the choppier side. It did get going later in the morning, actually 10:30. Had a nice, beautiful run all the way from 88.2 to 91.60. So that was nice. After that was the move there, right? After that, it gets a little bit choppier. But for the most part, this here was the play on AMD yesterday. If you're looking for a double top, you could have had an opportunity here as well. That didn't make a new high, and it regressed down towards the moving averages. Amazon, not the best trader. Again, very similar to AMD here for the most part, but overall not as clean as AMD, so I don't think it was a good one. And NVIDIA, again, just struggled yesterday as well, which I was surprised to see some of these companies like NVIDIA, AMD struggle the way they did yesterday. So,
Every
Peter,
once in
how
a
was
while,
your
you
day?
get something surprising. I noticed at the bottom of your list, and it was the first thing I traded yesterday, was AT&T. They had news, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
sort of lost it right out of the gate and had a sort of great opening trade, but then of course it went and did what it normally does, which is a lot of nothing.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. But yeah,
that being said,
amazing drop. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we had a lot of fun in the room yesterday afternoon. While the markets were generally moving sideways and we didn't get any good trades into the close, we were having some good conversation about the market overall. We consulted the Oracle, the Magic 8 Ball, which said that the SPY was going to go over 410 by the close today. I was actually expecting that
Oh,
to happen after hours, but after hours, it couldn't even get over 399, let alone 400. So I don't know. The Magic 8 Ball seemed very
uh-huh.
confident in that prediction. Its answer was yes, definitely. So it wasn't
Oh,
just a
okay.
yes; it
It
was
was
a
not a
strong yes.
hopefully
So
so or maybe so. It was a yes, definitely. Yeah, that's very strong.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, if it acts like Tesla did yesterday, I mean, we were talking in the morning, is it going to break 800? And it broke 800 and never looked back. I mean, it just kept going. So who knows? Maybe the SMI will do it. I don't know. Like the markets are acting a little strange, but that happens in the summer a lot because we have lower volumes. You just do have
Yeah,
lower
yeah.
trading volumes overall. And when I woke up, and looked at the gappers list, like it seemed like everything was gapping, but not in one direction. Everything was gapping up or down. I think I had 50 plus items on both the up and down list, all between 2 and 5%, gapping at 7:30 in the morning. But then a lot of that sort of filtered off and settled down, and you can see the list we've got now. So I don't know what the day will bring, but I am counting on some good trading. So let's see what we got.
I am on mute. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun today. Yeah, we'll see what happens at 410. It's so funny. I was writing the title for the YouTube channel today, and it was big week for the SPY and the Qs, ending the week green. And before putting ending the week green, I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, man, that anything can happen in this market, and
You
that could be
kept me
so
straight, eh?
wrong. I might have to go back and edit that depending on how the SPY does today. But no, I think we secured it. Might end up being a big green if we decide to sell off, but I think the green week is secure so far. So, our friends, let's take a look over at Don't Jinx It, said Mary Beth over on YouTube. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right. I'm not
exactly.
even talk about it anymore. Let's go over here to our gappers list. This morning, a couple of things in the green so far, a lot more in the red, and actually some more familiar names on the red side of things here. We got Snap, which 31. I haven't looked at this yet. 31%. Man, oh
Yeah,
man! I was
we
going through my list, and Snap is the last on the last. It's on the end because S, right? So we go through the alphabetical order, and I didn't get to Snap. So, yeah, look at that, down 31%. Actually,
so
you
we
want to know?
are in earnings season, and well,
Yeah,
we'll talk about it when we get to Snap. But yes, this earnings season is having some interesting results and a few surprises, at least from what I expected.
yeah, no, I agree 100%. So we'll look at that down 31%, man. That is just brutal for them. They have not been doing well. And then we have MU, we have Google, and a couple other things on there. So we'll take a look at that. And then a couple of names, especially Bitcoin type plays in the green today. So we'll see how those are swinging. I know Mara has been trading very well intraday wise. At least we've seen a lot of good moves there. Let's see if how it looks today. All right, before we continue, let's go over to our overall market pulse. Peter, what is the latest and greatest?
Well, we've just sort of talked about it overall. I mean, we have seen a generally positive market this week. I think it's been a great trading week. It has been easy, but there have been opportunities if you've been patient and wait for your setups. Obviously, we're sort of on a what is guess I can say roughly a what 5 day uptrend. There was one down day in the middle of that, but we're still pushing up, and now we're back at the roughly 400 mark. So, like we
Yeah.
said, the Magic 8 Ball thinks we're going higher today, but I'll be honest, I am not going to make any bets before the bell rings on that. I'm going to wait and see what happens because anything could happen. We do have some earnings that are a drag on the market so far, pre market. So, I'm overall, I said, I'm really just expecting some good trading today, whether it's up or down. In international news, not a lot happening, which is good. There's obviously news out of Europe. There's been some talk about Ukraine getting their grain exports, which is good for the global economy overall if they can actually release some of those grain exports and get them moving. Um, but otherwise, I found international news pretty quiet. So international markets haven't done much so far. So let's take a look at what we've got moving here in the North American markets, and we'll figure out what we want to look at when the bell rings from there.
Yep, absolutely. Let's take a look at that, guys. Let's start here with our gappers list. What's gapping up this morning? I'm more interested in what's gapping down today based on those names. But let's start with the gap up list so far. Control A, Control X gets rid of this list here, cleans that out in our Dash Trader Pro. And then we'll start over with HNGR this morning. And ooh, that's not the way we want to start this morning. Prep. This is horrible. I just don't want anything to do with this. It is up 25%, but just look at this, guys. I mean, this is just nasty, nasty, nasty. Let's move on down to.
There's a reason why it's called hanger. If you try and trade it, you may hang yourself.
Yeah, it's like this actually looks like a game of hangman here, right? This is like the body here that you start putting the letters here because it's all flat, right? You try to guess what it is. Yeah, this is not good. All right.
Now that being said, there is news just for anybody that's following it. Basically the news is they're going to be taken private. So this is why we see this big movement and then flat price action, right? So if it's going private, essentially all shares are going to be bought up. The expectation is that every stockholder as of the close will get $18.75 a share, and you notice the price has moved up and then hanging out just below that. So don't expect any action.
Agreed. Let's take it over to the next one, TBLT. And every time I see that, I feel like saying tablespoon, like a measurement. It looks almost like it. A tablespoon over here. So we'll call it tablespoon because it's been coming up a little bit here and there.
All right, tablespoon it is.
So tablespoon measurements here. It is the float 2.1 million. Look at the short interest, and we saw this, I believe, yesterday, the day before. 132%. I mean, it's just insane. They've been getting some good volume, guys. 3.1 million shares traded. I don't know how clean this trading has been. Let's take a look how it did yesterday. I know there was one day in here that was just horrible. Not bad yesterday. Not bad given the rally here.
Yeah, and look, this is one I'd love to crowdsource some information. I have been searching for almost 3 days now for information to show why it's been moving over the last few days. If you look at the daily chart Carlos has got there, it's been moving up for several days now. I can't find any news. I don't know why. Like, somebody knows something. The volume has been huge. Look at that increased volume. So, it's being traded. I don't deny that. I just don't know why. So they did have a public offering back at the end of June, but that's usually a drag on a stock price. So somebody's bullish on this thing. I did read somewhere that they had a high short float, I believe, but I can't sort of find evidence of that. So again, anybody knows anything? Let me know.
And I was just looking up the company. It looks like they make tool bags, construction tool bags, whatever.
Yeah, tool bags. And look, their float is very small, right? So this move could just be some motivated people playing with it. I mean, their float is less than, what is it? Like, it's less than 1 million shares, or maybe it's around 1 to 2 million. So, when it trades this type of volume, like, we're flipping over the float like 40 times or something, so it just creates this type of movement. So if this is your type of stock, by all means, but personally, I throw it into the super high risk, I got better things to watch pile, and don't worry about it.
Yeah. I'm actually going to put it here just for entertainment purposes, because you're right. I mean, 3.2 the last 3 days. With no news, because you can get 1 or 2 days, but another one, and then again today, up 4.2 without news. That's weird. That's very weird. AXP here, guys, we are up 4.6. The pre-market action is not looking great. We had an initial pop here, went sideways for a bit with no volume, and we still have no volume even with this candle there. There's just 8,000 shares traded. Look at how scary this is, guys. 8,000 shares traded. Took this thing from 150.70, we'll call it, to 156.70 to 157.10. 8,000 shares. That's like an order from one person. You don't want to be involved in something like this. It might get better in the pre-market and in the intraday. I don't expect it. Let's definitely move on from that. So no luck so
AXP,
far.
Just in case. So we do have a lot of earnings here. AXP is one of them. This is American Express. Keep in mind, it's a NYSE stock when it trades on the New York Stock Exchange, just like Carlos was showing us. You get these sort of like really low volume opens, which means almost nothing, right? Once the market opens, it'll do what it'll do. But I have watched this over numerous earning sessions, and I've never found good trading in it. So they beat their numbers. So they have good news, which is why it's gapping up here a little bit, but it's not going on my trading list.
Yeah, most definite. Here is Coin, guys. So Coin this morning, we are up 3.7. It's funny, I saw on the document I get here every morning, I saw that there was an insider trading. The first case of insider trading on crypto is happening on Coin. And I'm
I
thinking,
saw it a
what?
couple of brothers, that had
Yeah,
gotten nabbed. Like, how do you insider trade coin? Like, it's
yes. How do
supposed
you do
that
that?
the whole point of the market is that that's not possible.
Right,
Anyways,
right. There's no information that you can take and say, "Hey, this is gonna go up." So, I gotta. I want to read more on that later today. That'll be my entertainment plug for this weekend, for this day at least. All right. So, coin is doing very well this morning, up 3.7, 361,000. The last couple of days in the green, doing very nice there. Not sure, how they're going to be today. I think that we might have better things on our list, but it could be a good possible, guys, because we're kind of breaking out here on the daily. But the last couple of days, Mara has taken the lead a little bit in how much volume has been trading and how clean has been trading. So if we look at Mara today, again, continues to get this volume very early on. This is definitely a different Mara that we saw before July, right? Definitely a different type of player now. You can see the volume here coming in. You can see how the candles are trading. The last 4 days, 5 days have been really good intraday action. I mean, I'm going to keep it on my list today again. I had a great trade on it this week. Hopefully that can continue. Mara looks very good today. Um, Heading down to SLB. This is one that pops up in our list more often than we would like, I guess, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Um,
Schlumberger, Burger. Anyways, I don't know.
yeah.
It's a U.S. oil and gas company. Oil and gas typically doesn't trade very well. They had earnings. They had better than expected earnings, and they raised their guidance. So
Hmm.
all good news. But you're right, Carlos. Every time it pops up, I'm like, nah. Sort of like the American Express, New York Stock Exchange, oil and gas. In this case, I just like, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Schlumberger.
Mara, we were just talking about it now. It looks good. So I'm going to add that to the list there. All right, let's get to the big elephant in the room here, leading the way down 32% is Snap with 16 million shares traded. I mean, this is what a crushing day here. What a crushing earning for Snap, guys.
Yeah, so Snap had earnings last night after the close, and as you can clearly see, it was not good. They missed their numbers. The market was very disappointed, and Snap is obviously it's a Meta-owned company, so it's taking Meta down as well. I don't see any other specific news, but Meta is not having a good morning, down 5%. So it's not good when it takes the parent down
Yeah,
over 5%,
yeah.
and Snap, like you said, is down 33 right now and dropping.
It is definitely not a good look for the parent company there. I mean, and look how big this gap down is. Things must be really bad. I haven't read what the reports on this, but it's gapping below the here, which was the original gap down, the sell off, and even below some of the levels where they actually found a little bit of support. Right, it's just blowing right through that and continues to sell off, guys. And there is no short selling restriction in the pre-market, so remember that this thing can drop even more aggressive because there's nothing stopping it from slowing down a little bit. That's going to turn on once we hit the market open. It'll go on SSR, but right now it's just a complete bloodbath on Snap. We are going to add that to our list here and see where that goes, guys. Huge volume this morning. Here
I'm
is
told I'm
pinned.
completely
Yeah,
wrong in that Meta doesn't own Snap. I thought they did, but apparently not.
I
So
wasn't I
why is
wasn't
it?
sure, so I
I don't
wouldn't be
know.
surprised.
Well,
Yeah,
then
who
I'll
owns Snap?
accept that I'm wrong in that, but I thought they bought them at some point, but I guess I'm wrong. Oh,
So who?
Instagram. It's fake
Perhaps
news.
Silla.
Fake news. Look at me. Oh yeah, one of
That's
those.
great. That's
I
great.
thought one of those things. All right,
So
my
Meta,
bad.
yeah, no, Meta owns Instagram because it's right on there when you sign in, right? It says a
Yeah,
Facebook company or a Meta company now, but it used to say a Facebook company. So
I,
who
I
owns
was
Snap?
literally just trying to open Snap on my phone to see if it came up with the little Meta logo. Because you're right, it
Yeah,
puts it
yeah,
on all of the apps, and it didn't do that. So there you go. That's my confirmation.
yeah, yeah. But either way, they're in that space, man. So I wonder if anybody else has been. I mean, that's a big drop. That's a big drop. So there might be some
Yeah.
sympathy plays either way. Let's take a look at Twitter because someone mentioned Twitter reported today. Uh, Dan mentioned it to me
Yeah,
in chat. Twitter reported at 8 a.m. this morning,
yeah.
and we are down 2% here, 2.1 million shares traded so far. It could be good today. It could be good. I don't know if it's going to be great. I mean, it's just this ticker is messy. I was actually thinking it was going to trade a lot better than it has been the last couple of days. I mean, yes, the day looks good, but the intraday action hasn't been all that great. We'll see. We'll see. And I won't give them too much credit for this. The SPY's been ripping. The Q's been ripping. That's what's really driving a lot of this move here. This is not Twitter doing its own thing. Definitely not. But
Twitter's an interesting one because they missed. So they missed both revenue and earnings by a huge margin.
yeah,
But I get the impression that right now Twitter, like unlike Snap, where everybody is sort of surprised by how bad the numbers are, on
yeah.
Twitter, I get the impression nobody cares anymore. They're like, look,
Nobody
either
cares.
buy it or
Whatever.
don't. Make money, don't make money, like
Yeah.
whatever. Like, it feels like the market's just like, I mean, so it's down, but it's down a measly 2%, which seems like an underreaction compared to the loss, especially when you look at Snap, that's down 33%. So,
Yeah, yeah. Couldn't agree with you more there, man. I mean, so again, I have it here, but I'm assuming I'm going to move this down very quickly once we get to some of these other names. Here is pins right now. So pins for the most part down 8.4 right now, 302,000. So big drop for them as well. Did they have earnings? I didn't see them on the list of on the trading terminal. The pins have earnings this
I don't think this was earnings on
no, it's not.
Pinterest. I'm not sure if this is a sympathy drop or what. I didn't actually see any specific news against them that would warrant this drop. So again, if anyone else out there has a clue what's going on, yeah, let me know because I don't see any news on it.
Yeah, interesting. Well, definitely like the drop here. I wish there was a little bit more volume, but either way, it could be a good possible for today. Pinch dropping a little bit here on 8.3 without news. There's got to be something out there. Just seems like a big of a drop. Is Pinch a reaction from Snap? Maribeth, you could be right. They're in that social media type space. Pinch is a little bit different. But yeah, it could be. It could be maybe some future stuff that the Snap reported can affect other platforms, social media type platforms like this one. So yeah, that's a good bet there. Same thing with Meta. I think though Meta doesn't own Snap, this you gotta one of them drop like this 33%. They're obviously seeing something that they don't like, and that could affect the other one. So we have Meta here as well, guys. They are down 5.1. I think it's good today. I just don't know how good it's going to be. I think it's good enough to be on our list. 600,000 down 5.1. Here is MU this morning down 4.2. Even though when MU is gapping up or down, it just hasn't been a great trader. They had like 1-2 days where they did something and we thought things were changing for them, but it hasn't. So we'll keep them off our list today. I don't even want to even add them to our possible. I think there's just a really, really bad tickers to trade. Here's VZ, which
But
is
you know
Verizon.
what is a
Yeah.
better ticker to trade in the semiconductor space?
TSM? No?
Damn you, Carlos.
Let's go straight to AMD with that note there. So AMD, NVIDIA, yeah, I'm going to add these to my list. Although yesterday they were not the best. They had the one compared to I'm doing an unfair comparison to like a Tesla, right? And some other ones that just ran like crazy. But either way, AMD, I'm going to add AMD, and I'm also going to add NVIDIA. I might as well just do that now. So I have AMD here, and I have NVIDIA. Their daily looks amazing. They're taking a little bit of a break. I got a little bit spoiled because it's just been trading on nonstop here, heading north, and it's just been great. And their intraday action has been great. And yesterday we kind of saw a little bit of a slowdown, right? Not bad, just a little bit of a slowdown. Still good enough to add on our list this morning. Going back to Verizon, guys, I mean, they're down here 4%. It's just one of these tickers that doesn't trade very well, even in the intraday action, even with a with earnings play. The one that surprised us yesterday with a nice big drop was T, right? And they're very similar, AT&T. This one had an initial drop that was great. Then after that, it was pretty much a very tough trade. So we'll add, you know what? We'll add these.
Verizon had earnings, like you pointed
Yeah.
out. It's got reasonable volume, especially for NYSE stock, but
Hmm.
it was mixed results, right? They beat on revenue, missed on earnings, sort of a mixed outcome, which means it's not really strong news to drive it either way. As you can see, it's down a little bit, but like you said, secondary list for sure.
Yeah. We'll put in a secondary for now, and that can drop off very quickly if we get something better. Here is Shopify, which is again, I think one of the toughest tickers to trade, even at a lower price. At first I thought because they were sitting at what was it like 800 or something? Was it maybe I'm exaggerating? Maybe it was 400. But I don't know they were higher than this, I believe, right? Or am I confusing this ticker? I thought they were a lot higher.
I thought it was. Have they like split or something? I
Oh, they
thought it was
split.
like,
They split. Yeah. I think they split.
yeah, they
Yes,
must
yes,
have
yes.
had
They
a split
split.
at some point.
And someone reminded me of that before as well. I thought it was because of the price tag, but even here at a lower price tag, man, they trade horrible. I mean, it is just not a great ticker. Look at the pullbacks you're getting here. I mean, the pop is nice, it's real nice, but it just doesn't trade good. So I'm not a big fan of it at all. A lot of the last 2 days, obviously, the overall market, everything was just pushing higher. So they're benefiting from that a little bit. But for the most part, even with the increase in volume, and I'm assuming this is when the split was right over here. Look at these candles; they're not great, right? So, not a big fan of that one. Here is Google for the most part. They are down 2.6. Is this the right one, or is this the right one? I don't really trade Google.
Yeah,
When they had their split a
GOOG
few
is
days
what I
ago.
normally watch.
Yeah, so GOOG. All right, so they had their split a few days ago, and hasn't been all that great yet. I mean, I don't know. We need a little more time on this one. They're down 2.6, 290. Let's see if from here on their candles get better, and obviously with the increase in volume, that can create a better price action. But I'm gonna give it a little bit more time to see if it's gonna be like an Amazon where we actually are getting some good trading.
Hmm.
Here is EVTL, Vertical Aerospace, and then they are up slightly 2.7 this morning. Horrible pre-market action. They're making this move here with some pretty wacky candles, and I'm just not a fan of this daily at all. Going from 0 to 60 here, I don't like that. I don't know what the catalyst is. I'm not a fan of this.
No.
CLF, horrible intraday trading stock. We've seen this quite a bit. We're going to go down to GameStop. This one, split this morning. Here it is, right? Did they split? What is this? Yeah, this is split. Yeah, it was. Yep, there it is. 150-ish or something to 40 something. So
Oops.
it's so funny.
What?
Yeah,
A
GameStop was
sec.
going to split. They were
Hmm.
they were going to
Look at that.
split, and
Hmm.
they were taking advantage of that at 160 there. So good for them. Good for them. That's the right thing to do. 4 to 1. Why not? uh,
It's funny. I keep thinking about the boardroom conversations GameStop, executives must be having, and they're they're like, we still don't know what to do with the business, but what the hell are we going to do with our stock price? And then they're like, I feel
split
like
it.
they're taking advantage of that. They don't have any new
Yes.
business plans, but
Yeah.
they're making tons of money off the market. So all right.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to change the way it trades. I mean, we're splitting from a very, I mean, GameStop on a regular basis can go from $30 to 150. So I don't think we're going to change the way this thing trades. It's going to be the same exact thing. This is not going to be a big deal for them. It's not like an Amazon or a Google or like a Tesla. This is going to trade exactly the same. That's just my opinion on it. This is not a new price. I think what 37 2 months ago, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that's GameStop there. Quick funny story. I
That-
went out before I started trading, intraday trading, or got Andrew's book, met Andrew, and all that stuff. I was in this trade. I was doing a reverse split, and I was holding. I was bag holding a couple of units. And that morning I wake up and I see that I'm up like almost, a couple of $100, a couple of $1,000. I'm like, oh, I'm up pretty nice. And it was because it hadn't reset it to
oh
calculate
yeah, yeah.
the number of shares. And I'm like, oh my God, how do I sell? And it wouldn't let me sell, wouldn't let me do anything. And I had no idea the stock was, doing a reverse split or whatever the case may was. Yeah, but lesson learned very quickly there. Do a little bit
There
of
you go.
research when holding stuff overnight. You was gonna say something,
So
Peter.
just know, being that today is the first day of the split for GME, if you're trading it, and you use volume as an indicator, which I hope you do, but it's a 4-for-1 split. So volume should be 4 times what it used to be because they don't readjust the volume numbers. So if you're seeing volume that is not at least 4 times, then it's down, right? The volume's lower than it used to be. So just keep that in mind because sometimes that throws people off when you get these splits. I think it'll move today, and I think you'll see some interest. But I'm sort of surprised we're not seeing much so far. So pre-market
Yeah,
is
it's
pretty
not.
pretty dull considering that it's split
It's
morning.
definitely not as much as I thought it would be. So maybe people are not as excited about it. We'll have to see how that plays out. All right, guys, let's get going here. So I think we're all set on our gap up list. Let's take it to our to the room, unless you have something, Peter, that you want to share that you got on your end.
I'll mention just a couple just to complete the earnings sweep.
Yep.
So last night there was earnings on Mattel. It's not trading well. MAT is the ticker on that. They beat their numbers and reconfirmed their guidance. Generally, though, the reconfirming of the guidance implies that their next quarter will be bad because they had a great quarter this quarter. So you notice it's gapping down a little bit, but on no volume. Like, it doesn't look like a good trader. It usually isn't, but I just wanted to mention it. The other one I'll mention is PPG. It also is a big one that had earnings last night. They beat their numbers, and again, no volume this morning at all. But those are the only ones I've got, other than the plug I already gave for my good buddy Andy.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, let's take it to the room here. What do you guys have this morning? Twitter's on deck, RFG. Yeah, I have my list scrolled down, but yeah, Twitter's on here, and it is not looking great, but it is down 2% this morning, 2.2 million. But let's see if it can do something by the market open, or even after the market open. Uber, we just we talked about Uber, right? You did? Did you talk about Uber or no? Did you bring that one up? I don't. No, I don't think you did.
No.
So Uber here, guys, up 1.4. Man, it's just a tough trade, guys. Uber could be so difficult to trade. It is. They get the volume. It's a very well-known ticker, obviously, but they're funky with their trading action. They trade like if they're a very high price company. They remind me like a Google, like an Amazon when it was high price. It's a well ticker. Everybody knows them, but they just don't trade that well. So. And it's a good price, 24, 30, 50 when they were there. It's not a bad price tag. It's just something about them. They're very choppy with their price action. So I guess the traders that it attracts are weird or something. Tesla we have on deck. I don't know. That's good to go there. Again, just look at the daily on this. The day yesterday was just insane. I don't think we're going to get something like that today, but I think so far in the pre-market, we're showing some really good trading here so far. So I think it's going to be a good one. Just don't expect some move like yesterday. I think that's tough to do even for Tesla. Snap is good. Well, not good, but they're on the list. They're good for us as day trading, not so much for their business. List is giving us BBWI, and then no, this is not good. We had this before here. We had this before, right? And the same things, just no pre-market action. Somehow they're putting in a couple of days here in the green. I'm not a fan of this type of
So
action
who
there.
who
So,
gave BBWI? That was
it's our
Liz.
friend Liz. Yeah.
Liz, all right, Liz, you win the prize for making Carlos say no, 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 no for the first time this morning. So thank you for that. Something we all
Yes.
look forward to. At least I know I do.
Here is Amazon. So Amazon this morning pretty much flat. Their daily has been great. I think it's going to move with the overall market, so it could still be a great possible to watch. We put Amazon on the list here. It does have a clean daily RFG. If you're looking at that, yeah, the daily is very clean, very very clean. But it reminds me a lot of AMD, Nvidia. They also have this beautiful clean daily as well. Joey giving us SDIG. So SDIG, oh, look at this. So up 30% today, up 30%, almost 6 million shares traded. So we're doing pretty good there. Pre-market action looks very clean, by the way. Last couple of days, we gapped up here, which is good, right? We held the gap up, which is also good. And now we're ripping higher than the gap ups, the original gap ups high. So that's good. That means whatever the news is actually holding, or whatever, if we're just squeezing, whatever it is holding here. I mean, the stock is named Stronghold, so maybe they're holding strong. There's a long side here. What is this, by the way? What company is this? Digital
Well,
Mining.
they list themselves. They're digital mining, right? So
That says it all right there. Stronghold, you would think.
yeah.
Perfect. What a name. All right, so that's good. So that's ripping, guys. I don't know about this one. It definitely looks really good. I'm just skeptical on these type of plays. So be mindful of that one. I'm not going to add it. You know what? We can add it to our tablespoon list here. SDIG, SDIG. So we got SDIG here, SDIG, and then we have a tablespoon we have down here also. Up 10%, which again, great pre-market action. No news on this, but it's somehow finding a way to move. Very careful. This is a 2.1 million shares float. And SDIG, I can only imagine the flow for that one. If we look at SDIG, this is going to be not too bad. 19, still a low flow stock, so be extremely careful on that one. All right, I think we're all set. Amazon is good. Amazon there. Yeah, I heard, saw that over the news. People were making memes already, or about Prime, they call it Prime America, right? For the new health benefit company they're trying to buy, rename them. So they're already going with that. So we'll see. Did it go through already, RFG or Peter? Do you know? Or I just heard there was talks about it. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if it actually.
I don't think it's gone through yet. I think it's
Okay.
just that's what they said they're going to do.
Okay. Again, that's not really going to help Amazon anyway. If anything, it brings Amazon down. We've seen when that takes place, the buyer usually goes down. The person's being bought, if they're a public company, they go up. So it's not going to really change Amazon's movement. Again, how big they are, that's not a big deal for them as far as their price of the stock. BA possible gap fill, low levels, man. BA has just slowly but surely just creeping higher here. They've been kind of overshadowed with some of the moves that we had the last couple of days by some other big names, but they're slowly, man, breaking out of 150 now at 161. What a great move on the daily. And yeah, here she's talking about the gap fill. Yeah, that could be interesting. My concern is we have 3 green days. At some point, you got to take a little break here, right? Have a pullback or some sideways action. But you're right, man. We're right on that. Man, that could be interesting. This could be our sleeper for today. Let's put BA here on the list. Thank you for that, Mao. And low volume is okay on BA. Is usually the case with that stock, even when they are trading well. So Amazon, Amazon to 2,500. Jivo, Jivo. Let's see here. Jivo starting to go. Yeah, this is too risky for my blood right there. This is just way too risky. What's the news? I mean, just things just started popping up out of nowhere. We might not have it yet, but it's just way, way too risky. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one off because I'll probably put it on there for entertainment purposes, but I probably will not trade it. Let's take a
Yeah.
look over on YouTube, and then we'll head over. We got to do announcements, then we'll do levels. I know we're running a little bit behind, but that's okay. We had a lot to talk about today, and usually I'm looking to fill up space, so it's okay if we're running behind today. CHPT this morning, charge point. Man, we haven't looked at this in a while. You guys remember the EV rally we had going on back in the days? This was insane, but down to 14 bucks. Yeah, volume is not there. Who mentioned this? So James, the volume is just an issue for me. I know they had a good day here. Even this good day had no volume, and I guarantee you, if you go back and look at the list we had on our gappers list or on our list of stocks in play, this would not make your top list. There was just so much of the stuff doing very well. Not saying they can't get to 1549, but just not on my list today.
It's a good reminder that things come in and out of fashion, right? In terms of the
Yes.
volume in the market and where the momentum goes. Somebody else was just mentioning a few minutes ago, hey, remember Space SPCE when it was trading well, and now it's like it's terrible, right? I don't know. I think I've even
Yeah,
taken it off
yes,
all
yes.
my lists. So,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
and we were talking about the other day, like PCG was another one we were looking at when that was huge,
Oh
and we
man,
said, oh, it's like
PCG.
2 years
Yes, yes,
ago,
yes.
but it was actually like 4 years ago when it was big, when they had the wildfires that killed all those
Yes,
people
yes.
in
Oh, it wasn't
California.
us. It wasn't us. And
Yeah,
come to
exactly.
find out. Uh,
These things come and go. Don't worry. I mean, that's just the nature of the market, right? So we're going to focus on the stuff that's moving now because it gets the volume, which leads to better day trading, which is what we're looking for.
Yep. Randy, you're giving us Delta DAL, and I'm assuming this is Delta Airlines you're referring to. Very quiet right now. I think the airlines had their earnings, had their moves. American Airlines also reported was down yesterday. And I just think they're going to keep going sideways. I mean, until prices continue to come down, travel picks up even further. They're just not going to go anywhere, especially gas prices, man. The margins for airlines are so thin when their biggest consumption, their biggest expense is up like that, that's a big problem for them. Big, big problem. Here's MRVL. At the moment, they are not doing a whole lot. So yeah, not really in play. No volume, right? Actually, don't get confused by this 1.3. This is like some kind of block trade that has been done here. But if you look at the action in the intraday, in the pre-market, there's no volume here that's being actually transacted or traded. So not a good one for today so far. All right, guys, we are all set. The MU's daily looks sweet. Yeah, the MU's daily does look good, but man, it just doesn't trade well in intraday. So it does look very similar to AMD. Well, not similar because AMD looks a lot better. Let me not disrespect Peter here. Looks way better, but the movement is actually somewhat similar. But the action in the details are just not great. You can find better stocks to trade. That's for sure. All right, guys, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. I don't even know how many likes we're sitting on. We've been having a lot of fun today, but hit that thumbs up. We usually try to get to 300s or go on the likes, so we appreciate you helping us there. With that said, I'm gonna take you over to our actually, let's take you over to our webinars, and we're going to go ahead and go through announcements. Then we'll come back and do some levels, and then we'll call it a week, my friends. I'll leave you with Peter.
All right. Well, as Carlos said, we have our announcements right now, and we're usually late when I'm here, so I'll take some of that blame. So let's go quickly because it is Friday, and we're through the week of activity. So let's take a look forward to what we have next week, because we always have sort of the same approach with different material. Mondays are about onboarding and bringing those that are new to the room. So we have our onboarding session that'll be happening this coming Monday at 8 o'clock with Carlos, as we always do. That leads us to Tuesday, where Tuesday is all about strategy and trade book. We got some great sessions coming up. Andrews are always well attended and very popular because he's the grandfather, right? He's the one that started all of this and really can help guide us through his thought process and help understand how a true professional trader manages his risk and manages his trade. So his focus will be on risk management this coming Monday at 8 o'clock. And the week after, we'll have Eamon, and I see we got the time adjusted. Whenever Eamon does his show, it's earlier, so that's at 5 p.m. starting in August here, the 2nd of August, on how to read candlestick patterns through price action. So that'll be a great session as well. Wednesdays are all about psychology, and next Wednesday we have Randy Howell back with us. Whenever Mr. Howell presents, it's a great sort of introspective session, and it'll give you some tips on how to manage yourself and really accelerate your trading. So he's going to talk about developing your hidden strengths. And then the week after, Dr. Reed is back talking about the path to mastery. So both of those sessions are at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, July the 27th next week, and then the week after in August. I can't believe August is almost here. Thursdays, like last night, we then have our mentorship sessions. John does one during the day. Ed usually does one. He's on vacation right now, and we hope he's doing well on vacation, by the way. And he'll be back next week, though, to do his mentorship session. And then last night we had Thor, as we do every Thursday night, doing his mentorship at 8 o'clock, and that'll happen again next week. All of this happens every week, and then you have full access, of course, as a member to all of our recorded webinars, all the stuff that we have online. Not only do we have that stuff for our paid members, but we have a lot of free tools you can get access to, like the stock trading simulator. If you want to use that, please sign up. You only sign up, by the way, so that it saves your settings. That's the only reason. But you can get access to like emails that we'll send you that talk about different stocks you can trade. Eamon spends time putting those together to give you some areas to focus on. But that's it. We're not going to market the heck out of you. It's really just a way to sort of keep track of those that have signed up. So sign up for Stock Trading Simulator, and you can get access to that free tool. Lets you trade. Try different strategies whenever you want, any time of day, on any stock, on any given day. You can rerun the day and see how it goes. It's a great, great tool. And if you wanted to join us in the room, then we'd love to have you. And so you too can sort of be a member, get access to all of that material. If you want to try it out because you're just not sure, use the code PreMarket24 to get a 1-week test drive. That gives you access to that onboarding class I talked about on Monday, as well as free access to both of our chat rooms, the main room here that we broadcast into, and then Ed's room. And you can see if it's for you, right? Test out the community. You'll see the valuable information that you get just from our members, just talking about what they're looking at and what they're trading. I get a lot of my trades through that conversation, both from the moderators that are on the mic when I'm not there, as well as from those that are just having a conversation in the room, right? It's fantastic, and I suggest you give it a try. If you do join as a member, then you can use the code READ50 to get a discount off your annual Elite 1-year membership, and Dr. Reed is actually offering a free one-on-one coaching session. So take advantage while he's still offering that. It's very generous of him to do that, and we certainly hope to see you here in the room soon.
All right, absolutely. And someone on YouTube is asking us, is there any live trading on YouTube? There's not. All our live trading is done, as Peter mentioned, in our chat room for our members there. So, and give it a shot, guys. $24 gets you access, like Peter said, for 7 days. You come in here, you have two chat rooms you can enjoy, and you can go from there. So, give it a shot. See if it's the right thing for you. All right, guys, let's do levels. We have Mara, Snap, Twitter, Meta, AMD, and NVIDIA, and then we'll hop on over to our moderators lineup. Towards the bottom here on Mara, we do have 13, a good level of support. That's your high, that's your low of your pre-market. Your high of your pre-market, which looks like it's not going to stay there for long, 1505. Above that, we do have the highs from the last two trading days, doing a pretty good job there. And if we hop on over to the left here, let's go ahead. We do have a level right over here around 1571, and then up here 1763. So two pretty good levels on Mara. Guys, this thing has been really nice, really strong the last couple of days. I like the possible breakout of 14 today, so we'll keep an eye on that. Here is Snap, guys. I mean, just wow, just getting destroyed today, down 32%. 1085 is the low of the pre-market. Towards the top, we do have a level here at 12 that we have some good support there. We found a bounce out of. We have another level on the daily which has a lot of support as well. It's going to be 1295, might actually be 13. You can mark that down as well. Our high of our pre-market is slightly below that, but I think there's going to be a lot more weight on this 1295, right? So I think that's going to be the case there. Towards the bottom, I'm going to just quickly look at a weekly because we probably haven't been here in a while. So let's take a look at a weekly. It's going to be down to 2020, March 2020, all the way down here, 796. And we also have a couple of days right on here, 880. You can see some support happening there as well. That's off the weekly, which is good enough. When you're going past 52 weeks, you can go on the weekly and get some levels there for support and resistance. Here's Twitter. We don't have to add a whole lot on Twitter. We're stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Has ran out pretty nice here, so that's good. We got some levels that are still pretty good. 37.37, 36.37, and 35.41 are still in play here. The only thing I'm going to add here is the low of the pre-market at 37. Outside of that, guys, I think you're pretty much set on Twitter. Everything else is doing a pretty good job there. Here is Meta, which is, again, dropping very aggressively today, and there's no news that we are aware of, right? The only thing we have is Snap, which is kind of in his own area, right? So maybe that could be dragging things down for these guys. So 173.09 low of the pre-market, 175.80 is the high of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, we are going to mark down the 169.44. Heading towards the bottom as well, even lower. We're looking at 164.97, might actually be 165. Good areas of support and resistance there for Meta. And then if you're looking at the action towards the top there, you got plenty of stuff, highs and lows, previous day close, tons of levels happening there. And where the price action is now, that low of the pre-market, you're also seeing some daily stuff pretty close to that. That can be a good area of resistance, support that was prior resistance. All right, so here's AMD, guys, stuck between the highs and lows right now, looking to break out, hopefully, out of that situation there. I think the only thing you need to mark down here is the high of the pre-market, 90.62, and then the gap here. If you can gap fill this, would be nice, 94.70. That's all you need on AMD. Looking forward to a good day from them. Hopefully they can get going. I think towards the upside, you're going to have a better, cleaner price action. Towards the downside, I think an AMD can be a little bit more choppy, right? So that's probably the path of most resistance. You want to go to the path of least resistance, and that is towards the top. Here is AMD, guys. So AMD very similar to NVIDIA. Here's NVIDIA, very similar to AMD on the daily. Low of the pre-market 177.32. High of the pre-market all the way up here at 180, 80, 60 or 50 or so. So that's good there. Again, very similar to an AMD. We're looking for hopefully this to break out. I think you have a better opportunity, better, cleaner trading towards the upside on this one. 186.47 towards the top, and another level here at 192. Those two looking pretty good this morning. Guys, that is our list. Mara, Snap, Twitter, Meta, AMD, and NVIDIA. We got Amazon, Coin, and Pins, which is also dropping, down 7.5. So Pins is a good possible today. Just don't know why that's dropping like that. We have Verizon, which had earnings, but they're not great. And we also have BA, which, again, that's the sleeper for today. They don't have the volume, which they usually don't, but they've been on a tear there. So be on the lookout for BA today. And then a couple of really low flow risky stock here. We have SDIG, and then we also have Tablespoon down here as well, up 12%, 5.3 million shares traded. Guys, let me take you over to our moderates lineup. I see Brian is ready to go as well. He has his list, but let me show you what we got going on for our moderators. I just got to resize this here so it makes sense for our viewers, and then we will call it a week.
Yeah, while Carlos is doing that, I'll just mention IPOs since I watched those. We had one yesterday. It was a big letdown. No IPOs today. Again, we're seeing very, very little happen on that front. Not a surprise with the markets in the state they are, and of course, it being the summer season. I don't expect IPOs to pick up again until we get into the fall. Probably late September, October, we'll probably see a few more offerings. So,
yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and take it to Jerry. Jerry watching Snap, AMD, and BA for possible gap fill there, as we spoke about earlier. GameStop on his secondary list. They had their split today. We'll see how that goes. I don't think there's going to be a lot of change there, but we'll see if our friends come in and start squeezing that thing up. Thor, Twitter, Rivian, Snap, and the Qs. Also the Pivot Alert Bot on Twitter. You can follow them there, get alerts. We're looking at Mara and AMD for Susan, Apple and Snap on her secondary. Megan is looking at Twitter and the Qs. Eamon, we're a bit extended in a pullback is expected. Potential long Apple. We didn't look at Apple today, so we'll take a look at that offline here. Dima, Twitter, Snap, and AMD. Apple as well. Brian trading live today with Andrew. Will be looking at Rivian, TTD, AMD, Plug, and UNG. And Peter, you want to read out your list here, what you like this morning?
Sure. AMD as always. Snap and Tesla are on my primary list. Secondary, I'll keep an eye on Meta, Twitter, and frankly, I'm not sure what to make for my third one. So I'm gonna take another 5 minutes and make that call as we get closer to the opening bell.
Absolutely. Guys, we'll let you go here. Thanks so much for watching over on YouTube. 216 likes. We didn't get to 300, but that's okay because it's Friday. So I understand people are feeling a little bit sluggish or maybe a little bit more lazy than usual. I know I am, but we appreciate the likes that we did receive. We will see you guys next week. Have an amazing weekend. And just remember, guys, be disciplined today. I won't talk you to death, but just be disciplined. The last day of the week, go and enjoy your weekend knowing that you follow your rules and you can actually enjoy the time with your family, friends, and not think about trading. So just keep that in mind. And thank you, guys. I appreciate you very much. And we will see our members in chat. Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for
Peter,
letting me join.
Thanks for covering.
Norm is doing better and has air conditioning back because, my God, I can't imagine living in Texas without it. So all our best out to him and his family, and he'll see you Monday morning.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone. Trade safe.
Later, everybody.